477.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship in business. We talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. Hope you are enjoying a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend with your families. Once again, we are all about small business, and on this program, we love to spotlight entrepreneurs, business leaders that are making a difference in the community. And aside for loving his product, which you'll understand in a moment, I am completely flattered and very much appreciative for my next guest, Marc Schulman of Elis Cheesecake, for joining me on Get Down to Business. Marc, thank you so much for joining us, and more importantly, for all that you do in the community.
No, thank you. Chicago's a great place. My family history dates back here, 76 years in the food business. And, hey, we're really grateful to be here on Thanksgiving and the holidays. Are such a great time to be in the food business in Chicago.
Absolutely. Everybody's enjoying time with their families, and New Year's resolutions is a month away, so we don't need to worry about that for now. People can focus on their diet and exercise later. For now, enjoying good food is important. So as they say on Sound of Music, let's start at the very beginning, a very, very good place to start. Marc, your family, who is Eli of Elis Cheesecake?
Okay. Well, Eli is my father, so that makes it pretty easy. So my dad was born in Chicago in 1910, child of new immigrants to the country who came in 1907, and went into the restaurant business in 1940. His father was a baker who died during the Depression, so my dad had to drop out of school, went into the Army in World War II, and really had a reputation over the years of being a great host. So there was the original Eli's Ogden Huddle, went to the north side. Eli Stage Delicatessen on Oak Street. Our legacy restaurant, Eli's, the place for steak, opened in 1966. My father and mother, and that was open until 2005. It's now the site of Lurie Children's Hospital. So over those years, Eli developed a reputation. He was a great host, serving really good food, unique foods, and my dad is a classic entrepreneur, always wanted to be creative. So in his kitchen, he created calf's liver Eli, which was his vision of a great liver dish, and he would sell so much. Very famous for his steaks, for chicken in the pot, for my wife did a Elis Cheesecake cookbook last year talking about many of the recipes. But at the age of 70, he really felt that he wanted to take a signature dish outside the restaurant that he could sell on a broader basis. And growing up, he'd always talk about Hershey and Wrigley, his great stories. And, fortunately, it became cheesecake. So First Taste of Chicago came along in 1980. People were really excited about the product. We've done taste ever since, and then that became the basis for the business that it's expanded to today, which is now certainly many, many times bigger. We sell on a national and international basis through many channels of distribution, retail, food service, airlines, and proudly all of our products are made in Chicago.
It's a fantastic addition to our Chicago business community. And so talking about the products, how many different varieties are there of Eli's Cheesecake? And I know that there's more than just cheesecake.
Right. I think cheesecake got us started, and I think within those categories, and you can order online or you can get it in a Mariano's or Jewel. I'd say in our core line of products, there's probably about 75, cheesecakes and different types. But in addition to that, if it's tarts or mini pies or cakes or carrot cakes, our product line is certainly diversified also because we sell many different types of food service operators nationally. So when people visit our cafe at our bakery, which is a popular destination over the holidays, you'll see a lot of very, as you saw when you visit us that day, some very unique things that you never would have thought Eli's made.
It's pretty cool, and there's not many things that I'm more passionate about, as my family knows, than cheesecake and coffee. And the nice thing is that you actually have that variety over there, and you could actually get a coffee and you could get a cheesecake at the cafe, which of course we'll make sure our listeners can find out how they can visit very, very shortly. But Marc, moving beyond cheesecake, which I know you and I share a passion for, of course, but talking about community. Marc, I visited the operation and I saw the people and I saw how passionate and dedicated and loyal they are. And I know how passionate, dedicated, and loyal you are to them. If I may ask, what motivates you to be as involved and philanthropic and giving as you are and continue to invest in the Chicago business and nonprofit community?
Well, I'd say one, obviously the start, with my father, with my parents, my father put up a sign in the early 40s, which is, if you have no money, come in, we'll feed you free. And he would always say, charity will never bust you, or treat the other as if you were the other. So I think we have always believed, in community support. And my dad in the restaurant, the one thing I learned was that the most important person in the restaurant, associate, was the dishwasher and the busboy who turned the table around, who allowed you to serve more guests. So I think, we've always valued our people. We have a lot of people who have worked in hospitality and have come to join us. In terms of hiring our associates, I think we've always had some good partners. We work with Refugee One. We've had a number of refugees and do certainly in our business. We work with New Horizon Center, with Vaughn Academy, with Annixter Center. We hire people for hiring people with disabilities. So we have, we're tied to them. And then, being involved, I think, as I would explain to young people who want to be entrepreneurs, who want to be in business, when you're in business, you get the opportunity to spend your time helping, the community. And I think as a, smaller business, we feel real positive. For Thanksgiving, we just did an event with Sonia Jackson to feed 1,000 people for dessert. We have 50 pumpkin cheesecakes that went to Refugee One, so new immigrants could take our cheesecake to their host family for their first Thanksgiving here. We partner with Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences in Mount Greenwood, and we just participated with their Thanksgiving dinner for the community.
And the list goes on and on and on in terms of the involvement.
It's a great, and really the fun part is when you give product, it's like, sometimes feels like we're giving gold. Say, would you rather have money or cheesecake? And people say, hey, I want the cheesecake.
I love it. We're talking with Marc Schulman of Elis Cheesecake, and we have just about a minute and a half remaining. Marc, sticking to that theme about young people giving back to community, and that's great advice for them. Talking about business, is there anything that you wish you knew that you can share with young entrepreneurs, that you wish you knew when you got started in business with your dad, that you can pass along to some of our small business owners that are listening today?
I think as I watched my dad, and he developed and introduced Elis Cheesecake when he was 70 years old. I think you always have to be curious, and things change. I think they change because of technology. They change. Whole industries come and go, and I think you really need to be to read, to communicate, to network, listen to your show, get involved in groups. The more you communicate, because you never know. A lot of times people ask what the next big thing is. Well, the next big thing really comes out of a lot of little things, and sometimes it's a thing you never thought would go anywhere. And I think you got to be careful not to be judgmental, or always say we'll never do this, or we'll never. Things change, and as I say, I think what we see is the long-term benefits of our efforts and the leverage and success of our people that really help us grow for the future.
That's great. Well, on this Thanksgiving weekend, I'm grateful and appreciative for people like you that are that give to this community. Marc Schulman of Elis Cheesecake, by the way, cheesecake that freezes really well and is a great thing to pack along during the rest of the holiday season. Marc, how can people find Elis Cheesecake online and find out information about the cafe?
Right. You can go to our website, elischeesecake.com. You can order Elis online. We ship all over. We have some great corporate gifts. Or come visit us. We have a big dock sale on December 10th. We have all sorts of activities, but it's on our website. And we're on the northwest side. What's fun about our bakery? It's where we make things, and You'll be really surprised at the great desserts you can get when you come visit.
ElisCheesecake.com. Marc Schulman, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be in touch. We're looking forward to having you join us again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, coming up after the break, we've got more guest content, information, advice for all of you small business owners that are listening. You're listening to Get Down to Business. We're powered by Tandem HR, and we'll be right back.